Speaking of Super Bowls, I've never seen a Super Bowl win, but this guy has. It's Tom Brady, and he's finally retired. What are some thoughts, Miranda?
What are some thoughts? Is this for real this time?
I think so. It has to be.
Too. But I think, okay, so since it's for real, like, obviously recognize he is the GOAT, probably the best quarterback we will experience in our lives, honestly. Like, I don't know who's going to reach Tom Brady level. And again, my respect goes out to him. I'm not a fan of him. I never have been, but I recognize his skill and what he's done. Like we said, 23-year career, 7 Super Bowls. Like, that's absolute insanity. But what was the point of not sticking to the retirement in the first place?
To blow your family up for a losing season? Crazy to me. Obviously, we don't know the full story, but I don't know. I just felt like if he was going to come back, like, he was going to come back for something and try and finish something, and had actually the worst team season of his career. He had a pretty good season, but they made him throw 60 times a game. So that makes sense that the stats were good, but the team was ass.
Yeah, and I wonder if maybe, like, upon reflection, he was like, damn, I really fucked up. And again, we don't know the full story between him and Giselle. Maybe he'll come out one day with it. I'm sure this man, has he written a book or no?
I don't know.
If he hasn't written a book, or even if he has, I'm sure he'll write another book. That's what, like, anyone does, is write a book. So maybe he'll talk about it in there. I don't know. I don't really know what's going on with them too. Like, maybe there's still potential for them to get back together. Who knows? People are crazy.
I think he has a girlfriend.
Does he? Oh,
that's what the internet says.
Whatever. Girlfriend.
She's like,
is not equal wife. So
she's like our age.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Not me thinking I was literally like 23 years old person.
Yeah, no, you're not.
I literally turned 29 this month. It's fine. But we're in the year 2023. That's why I thought I was 23. Anyways.
That's speculation. I'm not breaking news. But yeah, I think he should have retired after the Super Bowl win. I think that would have been... I just don't think he could handle going out like he did, losing on a Hail Mary from Matthew Stafford. I think that really bothered him. So he came back and lost in an even worse way to Dak Prescott, who's a total fraud. But next up for Tommy. If you don't remember, Fox gave this man $375 million for a 10-year deal to be their number one NFL analyst. I don't know if he'll be good or not, but Fox has the Super Bowl next weekend. So I fully expect him to be the analyst on the Super Bowl call.
You think he's already jumping on board this year?
I feel like I don't see why not. He's on their payroll at this point. He's retired. Most of the articles I read said to expect to see him.
That's crazy. And I'm so interested, like, to see him as an analyst, just because, obviously we've seen him speak before, like press conferences, interviews, stuff like that. And I'm sure, you never know, because like Tony Romo, who is not the best NFL quarterback, like, he's okay, pretty solid, and he's so good at his job. And I would have never expected that from him, just because you don't know what his, like, personality is on and off the field. And Tom Brady, who's like this amazing, like the greatest of all time, like, he could be totally trash at being a sports analyst.
Tony Romo's so good at explaining like what's happening. Crazy. And he does irk me a little bit more because I think he's a real Patrick Mahomes wiener sucker. And it drives me crazy when people latch on to people like that. So that's my qual about Tony Romo, but he is very good at analyzing the game and explaining what's happening or what's going to happen or predicting what's going to happen. I don't know. I don't think Tom Brady is going to be very good at this, but I don't know why. I don't have a reason. It's just my gut feeling says he's not going to be good.
It's just fascinating because you would think he would be so good because he's so intelligent when it comes to the game and gameplay and game calling, and like Tony Romo literally will say what's about to happen before the play happens, and he's right like 9 times out of 10. And I'm just like, what is this dude? It blows my mind every single time. So I think Tom Brady might be good at like the technicalities, but I don't know if his personality is like meant to be a sports analysis. And I see that you put like he will probably replace Greg Olson, which I really enjoy Greg Olson because I think he has the personality for it, as well as like the analytical side and player experience. Whereas I don't know if Tom Brady is going to be the same.
It's like The Bachelor or Bachelorette. He's going to have to be more open about, who he is and his personality. And
yeah,
I feel like that's something we don't see a ton of. He's just a hardworking dude that eats greens and smoothies and throws good footballs. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I just feel like he's such a private dude that'll be interesting to see, like you said, like him share more of himself in a fashion where it's like televised, not like a book or something like that. So we'll see. I'm excited to see like what he does in his retirement. I mean, the dude's gonna be totally fine. Like he has his own business. But I'm excited if he's gonna go on like Barstool podcast or whatever and like be guests and stuff like that. So we'll see. I think this was the right move. And I hope we just find out more of like his thought process about like coming out of retirement and everything that went on, because that's just like fascinating to me.
If Tom Brady wants to do a tell-all on the Fans the Home Team podcast, he can certainly do so.
Yeah, if you want to just do it for this little podcast who's just starting out in the sports field and could use a huge ass name like Tom Brady or Tony Romo, I don't give a shit.
Anyone, please.
No, I think like I've been a Tom Brady hater my whole life. Because he was such a good player. Like, why would you, if he's not on your team, you're not going to root for him. So now I'm excited for him just to be like neutral and just be like another sports analyst and vibing in his retirement.